Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob Travels with Dottie, and I am in a familiar place. I'm in my Winnebago 2021 2100 BH Micro Mini. And the 2100 just means it's 21 feet even long, and BH means bunkhouse model. And today, what I'm going to do, Dottie and I are going to show you the things that I've changed, modified, and added in here to get this little trailer to be super comfortable for me and to meet my lifestyle. I was just sitting around thinking about, what do I do for a video today? And I'm sitting in the trailer and I'm looking around and I'm thinking about all these little changes that I've made over the past almost 3 years. And I said, why not just go through and show them to everybody? So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do that right now. And the first modification I made is the addition of a little dog named Dottie Dog. And then there's the addition of another fur ball named George. Hey, George. Hey, Kitty. Kitty likes to hide behind the chair there. So let's start at the back here. Let's start at the bunkhouse, because I don't have kids. Why do I need a bunkhouse? Well, let's turn a light on here and take a look. That's a bunk. Look, it's all drawers and a laundry bag. And then there's a lower bunk too. There's a toolbox. There's more drawers filled with stuff. And this goes, can't see it, it's dark, but it goes back in here. There's all sorts of stuff back in here. It's a huge amount of storage. Then we got this door by the refrigerator, has a bunch of hooks on it. And look, there's a jacket, there's a sweatshirt, and all my hats. And that storage solution being the door does not end there, because take a look in the bathroom. Look at this thing. Look at that thing hanging on the door with all that stuff in it. From a first aid kit to black tank stuff to all sorts of wipes and toiletries and all kinds of stuff. It's a huge amount of storage that, guess what? The only time I ever have to see it is when I need it, and when I don't need it, I just close the door. And it's gone. It's out of sight, out of mind. It has, I would consider this a pretty much full-size refrigerator. And there's really nothing special I do there at all that I can think of. We come here, we have a microwave convection oven, and I hardly ever use the convection oven. It uses a ton of power. I'm off-grid a lot. I use the microwave quite a bit, but for pretty short bursts. And there we have a 3-burner propane stove. And there's no oven with it, because we have it's just a drawer down there filled with all kinds of stuff. But look at this little weird looking thing here. Let me turn on the light. You see that? This is my toaster. A little odd, but all I do is fire up the burner, put the bread on the top, and it's a great toaster. Why don't I have a regular toaster? Well, 2 reasons. This uses a lot less energy when I just use propane. It's just a couple of minutes of propane burner, and I've got toast, versus having a toaster that plugs in that'll use a lot of energy especially when I'm off grid. And you might notice this guy does not have a lot of counter space in the kitchen. Check this out. That's it. The counter space is basically the covers for the sink right here, and a little bit of counter space over here, and it's all filled up with stuff. But what is it filled up with? Well, one thing, the TV's hanging there. It's not on the counter, but it's hanging there. Behind the TV, what do we have? We have, and pull this out, That is the smallest air fryer that I could find, and I keep it on the counter because I use it very frequently. When I'm not using it, I just kind of hide it behind the TV there. And then what's this? Well, this is out all the time too, and all this is a vacuum sealer. You know, I get my bag, I vacuum seal stuff like Dottie's food. I make big batches, I vacuum seal it, I freeze most of it and thaw it as I need it, so Dottie's food is always fresh. Anything that I buy too much to eat at once, I vacuum seal it, throw it in the fridge, or sometimes throw it in the freezer. So what else is different here? I'm still in the kitchen, and up here, hanging there, I have a fire blanket. I just pull on this. If there's ever a fire inside, the blanket comes out. I keep it firmly attached up here it's on the out part of my kitchen cabinet. And then we have a friend that did a drawing of Dottie. Isn't that great? And that's firmly attached to the cabinet door here. And then what we have on the wall here, this is the sound system, but what I added is an iPad that, hang on, let's see if I can get this up here. Not now. I'm trying to say not now, and it keeps saying yet, insisting I enter a password. But anyway, that when I'm off grid shows a display on the wall there of what the status of my batteries are. So I can see it from pretty much anywhere where I'm sitting or hanging out. So all that is an old iPad up there with Velcro. And you might notice here I have a temperature gauge, shows the outdoor temperature. It's 91 now at noon, 75 inside, and shows the date and the time. And that'll become important in a minute here, because as we move over to this side, you see my bed. An east to west bed, it's full size, it's comfortable for me and Dottie. If I were a couple, it would be a problem because one would have to climb over the other in the middle of the night to get to the bathroom. But over here, I have some hooks and things, car keys, things like that go there. As a matter of fact, I think I have car keys in my pocket that don't belong in my pocket. Guess where they belong? They belong right here. And here's two things I've added to the wall here. 3 things. What am I talking about? 2 things. 3 things. This, and this were built in here. But this is a carbon monoxide detector that is a carbon monoxide alarm. I already have one built in down here that's also a propane detector, but it doesn't hurt to have something double duty, a double backup, because I use heat sources that are propane based and burning based, so better safe than sorry. And this little innocuous looking thing up here is hanging on the wall, and it is a level. It's a level that transmits the front and back and side to side level of the entire trailer to my phone. So when I'm backing into a spot, it shows me how level I am side to side and front to back right on my phone. Then we have this. This is the most recent addition. It's like, so what? It's a clock. Well, let me show you something that seems silly but was a big deal. I like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I want to know what time it is. I just do. I want to know what time it is. I don't wear a watch to bed. So there's looking for the position of my bed, looking at that clock and temperature thing I showed you. If I want to see it, I have to rotate it like that. And that's what I've been doing for a few years. And I can see that just fine from bed. But frequently what happens, I get into bed and get settled and realize I didn't turn the clock. And I'd have to get up and turn it. And it was just kind of a minor pain in the neck. Then I found a very inexpensive wall-hanging, battery-operated little digital clock, and I put it up there, and I no longer have to worry about getting up and turning the clock around as soon as I get settled in bed. A little thing, but you add up a lot of little comforts and you get pretty comfortable, don't you? All right, another by the door, another hook. It's got my binoculars, it's got a flashlight, and anything special by the bed? And I go, yeah, I've got one of these clip-on fans that's USB powered, and there's a USB port back there that it's plugged into. So I always have a flow of air over my head when I'm sleeping. Okay, then we have this thing I bought a long time ago. It says, home is where you park it. And it's a good, like, it kind of looks like my trailer. It says, welcome to our camp, New Mexico, US 66. All right, so trash is usually a problem. And I've got hooks here. And look what I have attached to the hook. I've got a bag, just a trash bag. And this is where all my trash goes. Easy in, easy out. Then here we have another one of those clip-on fans, and it's right next to where I'm going to show you in a minute where I'm sitting. I'm sitting right on my beautiful Lazy Boy recliner. But I also have a couple of little shelves that are stuck to the wall here. One has a charger for my phone. Then we have a little Velcro stand for my remotes. A little hook up there that I use to hang my my earbuds. And then back here, leaning against the wall, is my vacuum cleaner. It's a stick vacuum cleaner, and I used to do a battery-operated one until I discovered the kind that you plug in is way more powerful, and it's done so much better for me, and it's less expensive. But the area, I'm going to back up, the area that we're in here, though, is the slide-out area. And it was designed with a dinette. I hated the dinette. It was uncomfortable. It took up a lot of room. So now what I have is I got a great Lazy Boy. Let's turn on the light here so we can maybe see a little bit better. A beautiful Lazy Boy chair that reclines. It's a really comfortable fabric. I love everything about it. Now, it's not quite big enough for me to be able to, for one person to sit in the recliner and another person to sit at the desk there. You see my desk and the very comfortable chair. So what I have to do when I shift to the desk is I need to kind of slide. I need to very carefully slide it over. I'm doing it now. And I'm being very careful because look who I disturbed when I did that. Not real happy with me. But now there's just enough room so I can get in that chair and I can comfortably sit at my desk with my PC, with my little ring light, my little chest of drawers and electronic gadgets and stuff. It's a little messy now. I apologize. It's usually neater than that. But this is my work area. I spend a lot of time there. But when I'm done, it fits under the desk. And let me tell you a secret about the desk. I'll tell you another secret. There's a plate here on the floor that is, when I finish something, I usually stick it down for Dottie to do the dishes. She does the dishes for me. So this is just a really cheap Walmart folding table. That's all the desk is. And right here, what do we have right here? We have kind of a collapsible table with a cushion on it. It looks like a cat food dish. That's a place where George can get fed and Dottie can't reach up there and eat George's food. And then below it is a top-down litter box that just does amazing. I never smell litter or anything, and litter doesn't get on the floor. It's a top-down. George likes it just fine. Isn't that true, George? George is a little annoyed at me for disturbing the peace. There's a couple other things you may see here too, is right by George. That is a camera that is facing Dottie in her bed. And we say Dottie's bed loosely because if Dottie gets up from here, George will often get in the bed. And certainly at night, when Dottie's up on the bed with me, George will take over that bed. And there's also another camera up here. And that is a remote control camera where I can pan and zoom it and all kinds of things. So when I'm not around, when I'm not here, I can see what's going on inside. And also the camera will tell me what the inside temperature is. And if it gets too hot, it'll send me a warning. And there's one other thing I didn't show you when I was over by the bunk. Check that out. This is a special thermostat. It's off right now. I'm going to turn it on, and you're gonna hear the AC come on because it's getting kind of hot in here. But I can control that thermostat from anywhere in the world with Wi-Fi. So that's pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. And it'll also tell me when, it'll send me a message when the temperature is out of range. So if I'm gone, I've got the AC going, I got the kitty, George, in here, and I got Dottie in here, and it gets too hot, it's gonna send me an alert, and I'll know to come home and take care of the problem. So I can also check on them from anywhere with the little camera for Dottie's bed and the big camera for panning around and seeing what else may be going on here. Not to mention the 2 outdoor cameras that are part of the system. So I'm looking around. Let me turn it around. Guys, I'm looking around trying to see, hey, is there anything that I've missed here that's kind of custom? There are probably a couple of things, but I doubt they're very important. This gives you a really good idea of the things that I've come up with over the past 30, I would say my retirement anniversary is in 3 years, but owning this is it. This is my 3-year anniversary for sure, maybe 3 years and a month. So it's 3 years of customizing this place to a way that's really super comfortable for me. So I hope you guys get a couple of ideas from my ideas, and I appreciate you watching. I hope you like these videos, and I will see you on the next one tomorrow.